The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Bert's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Oh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh please, the puppies need me. Oh please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.
Hello, 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 Dr. Berry. How are you doing?
I'm so glad to be hanging out with you on the sofa again.
Hey, 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 I'm glad to be hanging out with you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, mods, for being here. Everybody on the sofa, give Dr. Berry a warm welcome. She's been here multiple times, and this trial was one that we needed to have her back for. So for people who aren't, aware, or whatever, Brian Walshe is currently in trial right now. This is in Cohasset. What's it called? Cohasset. It's leaving me.
Massachusetts? No. Oh.
Not Boston. I keep want to say Cohasset, Boston. What's the name of the state?
Massachusetts, right?
Thank you. Cohasset's Boston. I'm like, no, that's not it. But this is taking place up there, and he has allegedly. He's saying he did not unalive his wife, but that he did dispose of her body and lie and slow down the investigators and do all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're on trial for. This is going on. And this is some of the next level Google searches, evidence, all this type stuff. So there's definitely a lot of psychological components going on here and just a lot of cringy things going on here. So before I get into like my own, like, oh my goodness, whatever, do you have any particular things about it that you're just like, okay, let's go here first?
So I think Brian Walshe was very much about appearances, and I think he wanted to be portrayed as this rich, fancy guy who, because I've heard other people mention he spent so much money to clean up after the fact, like so much money was spent. And he's going to multiple stores. He's doing all the things. He's trying to get this place so clean. And all of this is like, it's digging that hole deeper. And for me personally, and he's innocent until proven guilty by a jury of his peers. We are not the jury. We're just watching. Like, to me, it's checking the guilty box for me. And he lies. He's lied so much. So he had the federal trial for the art fraud. And then it seemed like the children were with him so that he could be released from jail and he could be identified as the primary caregiver for the children while Anna worked. And then I think she was preparing for when he went to jail. I think she was preparing the child care. And I do think his ego was hurt when he found out about and we don't have proof that he knew about the affair, but we're strongly speculating from his Google searches that he was aware that she was having an affair by the time she came back late Christmas night.
Yeah, you really hit on so many of the things there, so many of the things that really stick out to me. And, one thing in watching this, and this is like multiple levels with this trial, is once it started going and the evidence started coming out, there are so many things that I was like, oh, wait, I thought this. For example, in my mind, I had been thinking that they lived in another house for another case that we followed, and the Doulos case. So in my mind, I envisioned this massive mansion. Not that their house is not cute. It's like I was like, okay, cool. And then from there, it was like, oh wait, they don't own the house. Oh wait, the mom pays the rent for the house, and it just kept going and going. I was like, okay, hold on. And then the whole scandal with the landlord, where he's like, they trashed the place in addition to the stuff that went on, obviously, or whatever, right? And then even with Brian, the more we've learned of the scandal and whatnot, the fraud, the this, the that. And then also, for whatever reason in my mind, I thought that there was not enough like evidence, like blood, things like this that they found to really get a solid case. So like after today and yesterday, where it's like, so the house was covered in blood. So he was covered in blood. He went on camera everywhere you could go, buying with credit card, well, cash sometimes, not that it mattered. I mean, he was like, whatever.
You could see him on video, like, and
So bad.
I think it was Kathy that was like one of the worst things you can do, because Kathy mentioned there are more cameras at self-checkout than there are in just the general store, because for self-checkout they're trying to make sure they're doing loss prevention. They're trying to make sure people don't steal, so they are watching every single thing that you scan, because people I've seen those videos where they're at Target or Walmart or something and they're getting arrested because people were doing inappropriate things with self-checkout, and he needed help from the staff. Like, I think he wanted to come off as this competent person, but then, because then a part of me is like, was he having the staff do it so that he could like skip the line and then be like, I'm so important, like, look at me, I'm above scanning my own things, even though I went through self-checkout. Like, I just can't with him. I tried. So for anybody that could actually listen to all of his police interrogations, my hat's off to you, because I saw in the comments somebody mention, like, because this trial, it can be hard to just watch him sit there and like not look sad, not look upset that the mother of his children is deceased. Like, you saw a little emotion from him, I think, when Anna's ex-lover was, or when the guy she was having the affair with, when he was up on the stand, but it was so messy. So messy.
Incredibly messy. And yeah, that's what's been so odd is I don't know if demeanor is the right word. He has this kind of just like hum dum da dum type demeanor. And that's how he even sounded when he was talking to the interview or interrogation people about, the cops, and they came to his house and all that kind of stuff. And they're trying to figure out, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And one thing that I thought was interesting, well, many things, but one of the things was when the cop was asking him about the phone and all this, and at first he was like, hey, I want to do whatever we can, and then when the cop's like, okay, cool, let me have your phone basically, and we're going to do this. Oh, well, what do you mean? Well, you want to do that? Well, I think I need to talk to so-and-so. And the cop had to remind him, he's like, I just want to let you know, this is a missing person case. We're not investing this as like a crime. And it was so interesting because I was like, oh, they already knew right then and there. Probably even before then, just with his demeanor of like, your wife's missing. And to me, it sounds like he's all but skipping through the house.
Yeah.
And like giggling with the cops. And he seems like, and I'm going to circle back around to your comment about the checkout.
Yeah.
And then you can inform me through your credentialed, stuff or whatever. Okay, so he seems like one of the type people, and I don't know if it's narcissism, if it's ego, whatever you call it, but where in the moment he's so concerned with, I want them to like me. I want to win this situation. He doesn't think long term, okay, great, I got the cops to like me, but now I look totally guilty. Or you see what I'm saying? Like that type thing.
He gives off con man energy. So where you love bomb at first to get people on your side so that they don't listen or pay attention to all the behavior you do later. not saying that he love bombed the police, but he's like, he's trying to get along with them. He's super jokey. Like, I don't like, he's giving way too much information about irrelevant stuff and then not a ton of information about the important things. And I'll be interested to see if the jury will find out what he pled guilty to, because I've seen some people in the comments upset about that, thinking that that will make the state's case stronger. But I've seen a lot of lawyers give commentary about the jury might punish him less if they know that he's already been found guilty of two crimes that carry some type of jail sentence. So I think that's why the state doesn't want the jury to know that he's already pled guilty to those other two crimes, and they're only focusing on the capital M, in the first degree. Like that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Which that pardon me, that whole part where he pled guilty first date, whatever, watching how that plays out, and I guess maybe by what's tomorrow, Wednesday, so maybe by Thursday when the defense gets up or whatever, and we start hearing from them, pardon me, we can start getting into their narrative. Because one thing that I've been thinking, watching this, we're talking about it today, is there's so many opportunities that I feel like the defense should be going with. Yeah, but this doesn't show that he killed her. This doesn't show that he killed her, because in their world, he found her dead and then disposed of her body and lied about it, right?
And they might be presenting that in their case. Like, they might have a medical expert that's going to testify about sudden, unexpected, unknown death syndrome or something. Like, they might have an expert that's going to try to testify to something. And I see a question from Montana. Have you ever seen an alleged crime done so poorly with the Google searches? Because for me, if I was on the jury and he's saying she died unexpectedly, I would expect to see a search of, spouse, found spouse unresponsive, or like you would expect to see some search related to that. But his defense is trying, because they're like, wait a minute, he didn't start searching the word capital M until later. Like, wait a minute, like his first searches are just about a deceased body. Like, he doesn't, so maybe Google is suggesting, like he's trying to narrow down. I think with a straight face, this man with a straight face is like, he's just trying to get better search results. Like, aren't you gonna get better, like 10 ways to dispose of you do deceased body, and then you do like how to get away with the murder. Like, I just could not believe that. I don't know how the defense team is coming off to the jury. I know the chat does not like him at all, but I do think he's doing his job and zealously defending his client.
100%. Hey, Tanika, how's it going? 100%, definitely. Because no matter what I think of the defense or whatever, I'm always like, everyone deserves the defense. Yes. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to pick the story apart. And sadly for him, it's kind of like this. It's like, okay, Brian, is this your story? Is this your final answer? Yep. I came up there, I cleaned the house, she fell out of the bed dead, I freaked out, and this is what I did. And it's like, okay, well, that's what we have to go with then. And it pains me to think, that man has to be cringing at some points, I would hope. And some of the things where Brian, I was like, I would be crawling under the desk after they read those Google searches out. I'd probably just go ahead and be like, I changed my plea, stop reading them. I can't. Go ahead and cart me off. I'm done. Y'all got me guilty as charged.
And I'm laughing a little about the one detective that didn't go and watch the special movie and didn't know about the actress. Like he doesn't know how Cornhub works. But like, you would think, I don't know. Like, that was a little funny. Because he was a digital expert that did not seem like he seemed to have the expertise of like my 60-something-year-old mother. Like,
literally. Yeah, I was just like, well, also, I would love to know what the judge does in chambers. Like, does she go back there and is she just like, how Why? I think she's sensible enough to be like, this is an insult to the jury, to the
Yeah.
citizens of Massachusetts. This is a spit in the face, certainly, of his late wife, because it's so ridiculous. And she's seeing everything behind the scenes that the jury's not seeing. So she's seeing, like, come on. To me, she's been very good so far. I love how she interacts with the jury. She's very respectful of their time, and she's very aware of the duty that they are doing and serving and the sacrifice they're doing. And so I really appreciate that part of her. I really like how she's run this courtroom.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
she's just like, this is how it goes. And I mean, the judges are humans too, and they have to pretty much just be very nondescript. They can't be, doing this or that or whatever. But like those Google searches, I'm like, you can't tell me she didn't go in that back room and the chambers and just bang her head against the desk. Like, come on. The one that was like, how to dispose of a body if you really need to, like the pages it would take him to. And I'm sitting here thinking, these are legit pages that you can go to. It sounds like a Cosmopolitan article. You know what I mean?
And then you should be automatically tracked if you go to like murder.com. Like just don't go to websites like that. I do like following true crime because I think just because it's just interesting to me, because nowadays I remember when the big shift was like DNA, like DNA could really win a trial. Nowadays it's like those cell phones. The cell phone is going to tell on you, your searches, what's in your iPad, your laptop. I think juries really pay attention to that digital evidence. I also think that the person that Anna was dating in DC, I think that his testimony was powerful because it seemed like they had plans, and I think they're really setting the scene of like, what if Brian found out? How is he going to handle that? And that might be why he's trying to come off so calm. Like, I could never. Like, I'm hearing all of this evidence and it's not making me upset. Like he's just staying over there just completely stoic and fine, but he's also not really showing grief. I do think he might be a bit of an actor, because I think he's going to try to muster up some dry tears on the stand if he does testify. I do think he is going to try to show some emotion, probably talk about how awesome their relationship was, and I don't know what he's going to admit to. And I cannot wait for cross-examination if he does get up there, because everything the state would be able to press him on the questions they have. And to me, his credibility is already shot, because the jury already has heard. The state opened with that evidence of like, his wife is missing, but now we know that of what he's already done. So when he's meeting with the police, he's already traveled to all of these trash cans. He's already done all of those things.
Well, and to go off a couple of points you made, the most recent one being the state opening up with that and whatnot. One of the reasons why I think he also needs to take the stand is because they opened up with that, and then like the same day or the next day, they played all the interrogation things, which was essentially like having him on the stand but not being able to talk. And so we're entering into this trial of like, oh wow, he lies so easily and so in depth and like with no emotion, and he's laughing and giggling, and so it was so shocking to hear him essentially like on the stand lying. And so now at this point where I'm like, yeah, not a good idea to get on the stand, but I'm like, yeah, dude, this story is so far-fetched, and we've basically, the state put you out there by showing what a liar you are, so you almost have to get up there and try and explain your way out of this one. Now, on the point that you made about phones and that being your interest and whatnot, I'm right there with you too. And one thing that I think that has helped with juries and whatnot is, okay, if you want to talk about DNA versus cell phone evidence, we all have a cell phone in our hand. We can all relate to how that works, how we interact with it. DNA is kind of like, wait, what numbers are they talking about? And 10 different people handled it today. And
I didn't even watch it. Like today's testimony, I hopped in and out of your stream, and but that it kind of, and the testimony is good because the state has to lay that foundation
oh,
because
yeah,
they have to prove, especially since they don't have a body, which breaks my heart
I know.
for Anna's family.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was literally when they were going through stuff and describing, like, the DNA and the hacksaw and like saying these tools that he got and creating the imagery. Because at one point in the chat, I was like, people are imagining him using that hacksaw right now. You know what I mean? Because that's what it did to me. Is like immediately created this image that's so grisly and disturbing.
Mhm.
Because, and we kind of talked about this before the show. In my mind, I'm like, okay, so hold on, y'all have 3 kids, you've been together, you're supposed to have this great marriage. How do you go from that? Even if you found her, let's pretend that we all believe him. My goodness, it was this tragic thing. She just plopped out of the bed, unresponsive and dead out of the blue. How on earth do you go from that to being okay with doing the grisly things that he did to her body? Hey, Kathy, gossip, rumor, innuendo. I don't see how someone could, like, in my world, I'm like, oh, he hated that woman. Like, how could you even like somebody and be okay with chopping them up?
But I think it was that blow to the ego. And then also, I think he might have thought, because I thought it was interesting that he was searching for any sexually transmitted diseases. Like,
Yes.
I thought that was interesting. Like if he viewed this as this huge betrayal that somehow placed him at some, I don't know, like that was for him to be able to say, I had no clue. Like, why are you searching blood and HIV and
I was so
um
curious about that.
and uh and now it's just it's ridiculous. It is really sad. And my heart really breaks for the kids in this case because on one of the surveillance videos, you can see in Lowe's, you see his son with him at the self checkout, possibly carrying some of the clean. We don't know what was in the bag. So we don't know what exactly. And I didn't go back to check exactly like what he purchased and because you can see the mop, or you can see some items, but you don't know exactly what the child is carrying. Um, but to me, it comes off like he puts himself first always.
Mhm.
What he wants,
Mhm.
what's best for him, and that's where I also wonder if he thought if she was missing, would that somehow delay his incarceration with the federal? Like, would people feel bad for him? I have this missing wife, my boys are going to end up in state custody. Like, I wonder if he was hoping for some type of sympathy plea with that as well.
Northwest says son was carrying squeegees found in the basement. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. And I agree with you with the kids being so young. And then again, with these cases that we watch, especially once they get old enough to like look into this themselves and whatever age that is, imagine being able to look back and be like, oh my God, I was carrying the squeegee. And the thing, like, they're going to have that realization at some point in life. And like you said, something like that, then you say, well, how, obviously the question is, how does a father do this to his wife and the mother, whatever. But then also like the continuing to victimize the kids in that way by having them in the, like, let's call Lowe's a crime scene, let's call Marshall's a crime scene part of it, you know what I mean? Having the children interact with objects that were used in that.
Even if she died of natural causes, if I was on the jury, I don't like that would be the fact that a person involved a child
Mhm.
in the purchasing and that part, um, that was just unimaginable to me.
Now, let me ask your opinion on this.
Yes.
And this is like, sofa speculation, whatever. Okay, I'm going based on some of the things that the defense was asking. And so I'm going to talk for a minute about speculating on what we think the story they're going to come up with is. Okay, so at one point, the defense kept asking about, and I'm going to say it wrong, auto asphyxiation. Is that the correct way
Oh,
to
is
say
that
that?
was that like in an intimate moment
An
or?
intimate moment where you're basically like bringing yourself to the brink of passing out and then coming back. And he asked several questions about this to the ME on the stand. So in my mind, I'm thinking this.
But isn't that normally your partner did that to you?
I mean, I thought, but I
And
mean,
then,
I
and then,
think that
but
I
then
think
to
there's two
me,
versions.
there are.
You
But
know,
to me, if it was the partner and if he knew of the affair, that would still be murder. That would still be a crime for me personally if
oh
I
yeah.
was on the jury. Because also you would see them pass out. So anytime there is intimate play that is a little kinky, like there are safe words, and then like because if your partner passes out, you stop. And like if somebody needs medical attention, you get medical attention because that would mean somebody continued to do the harm to the point where the person is deceased. And I think that would be at least some type of and I'm not a lawyer because this is complete speculation. I would still think that would be a crime because it was almost like in the opening, I thought they were making it sound like he woke up and found her, like she rolled off the bed or something, and he found her deceased in
And
the
100% that's the way they went with it.
yeah.
And so I think what the defense is doing is he's trying to throw, because the next question is like, how does this healthy young woman just randomly die? You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's no real signs that she had, of course they don't have the body, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, she had been documented going to the doctor for the last year, whatever. So in my mind, I was like, he has to come up with some reason as to why she died. So if they throw in something really cringy like that, whether it's like, we were having adult activities, we got really, whatever. I went downstairs and maybe she had a heart attack. I don't know. But I was like, everyone's going to think that I killed her. And especially if it was they were getting kind of freaky or whatever. And he's going to be like, oh God, everyone's going to think I killed her. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to dispose of her. You see what
I
I'm saying?
I think he's gonna wanna be further removed from the crime,
Okay.
personally.
So
I d
you're
I
going
don't
with I just 100% like came up and she was dead.
I think he's gonna want to be further for like a Chad Daybell. Like,
Yeah.
I personally think, but we'll see, and we'll see if you're right, if I'm right. I think he doesn't want to be viewed as a person that had anything to do with her death.
Mhm. That makes sense. Carol says he has 2 different stories. He probably has several in the barrel, and I think that they're probably waiting to see. Well, at this point, after tomorrow, the defense will know, okay, the state's laid their case out. Here, it's all out on the table. So we can completely reform or, manufacture the story how we want to do it. Do we just want to throw out a bunch of stuff to make it sound like she could have died from this? I mean, we don't know how she died,
And
but she ended up dead.
I think legally the defense, so the lawyer can't know that it's not the truth. I think. Do you know it? Because the lawyer
Correct,
can't
yeah.
warrant perjury. So the lawyer has to not know exactly what. So the lawyer would have to go to him and be like, "Okay, Brian, so what are you going with? What are you going to swear to? Like,
Mhm.
what's our approach here when I ask you these questions?" So, I almost think he was asking the ME all of those questions about all those different diseases because it wasn't he was asking about all types of possible. I think that was to almost. I don't know if he was trying to give his client hints. I don't know why he was asking because they've laid a foundation of like, well, the medical examiner said it could have been this or this. Um, I could see them leaving out the other one.
Yeah, and that makes sense, and I agree. I think where he was just throwing a bunch of stuff out, and it could have been like, because they might not even, technically they don't have to prove anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like the state has to, but This is just one of those where it's like, yeah, we don't need to hear from you, buddy.
and, and if he gets on the stand, he does have to ask, like he does have to answer those questions. Like, so at what time? Because it almost sounds like, because it doesn't sound like he woke up, because it sounds like things happened in the middle of the night. Like it sounds like she died after the friend left. And I think the friend already testified? I
I
think the
believe
friend
they were on the stand today.
today. Okay. I missed that. I'll have to go back to your stream and watch the person that was, besides Brian, the last person to see her alive. And so I will have to go back and watch that.
Because something took place from when that person left till, what was it, 4 a.m. It's a window of time, obviously. Whatever happened. Now, I think the friend testifies tomorrow. Okay, never mind. I thought he was on this afternoon. I was kind of in and out this afternoon. What was I going to say? Oh, so whatever this window of time is, where something took place, I think he used a knife for sure. Like, just judging from all the blood evidence and the questions about the knife and the this and that, and then to do the act and maybe other things. I don't know. And so and we'll never know what happened that night. I do feel like, and this again is kind of speculation, I feel like he figured something out. And when I say in advance, we're not talking mega advance, but I think he started kind of planning this a few days ahead of time, like where it was like the ideas going through his mind of like, wait a minute, she's doing this is happening, this is going here, and then something took place that night that it was like, and here we go. And so that caused him to either snap or go ahead with the plan or a little bit of both. I don't know. And Amber says, I think it all came to a head. He found out she had a boyfriend. She wasn't there for Thanksgiving. And she maybe even said that she wanted a divorce and he lost it. See, and that's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting to Amber. It's like this was percolating in the background because it was like there was some haphazard planning and ideas of stuff, but then it all happened. And then it was like, because you can look at his Google searches. I mean, by the next morning at 6 o'clock, he's talking about when do I get when can you get this? When does this happen? Can I use a credit card? But all this type stuff.
Yeah. And to me, all of that clearly shows that for me, it's that consciousness of guilt, like that something's wrong. And I don't know. This one is hard, and I don't know if the jury is going to get to first degree. So I want the chat to be prepared just in case they come back with second, or because we don't have the body and they're not able to say how she died, because I could almost see the defense being like, he was so freaked out. This was the mother of his children, the woman he loved so much. Like he already had these other charges. He was so concerned that he would be blamed. Like I could see the defense trying to make him into the victim, which it sickens. Like, it makes my stomach turn. But the jury only has that information. I've noticed that the state lets the defense kind of go down rabbit holes, like ask witnesses the same question 25 times. It's like, can we please let this poor guy off the stand? And they just let them yell at people. And so I wonder if the defense has lost the jury. Because I think if the jury was hanging on every word, the state might object. Like, this is cumulative, or I think the state might object a little bit more. It just seems like the state is letting the defense go down these rabbit holes because they're confident. Like, dude, like just wait for our next expert. Like, just wait for that cross examination.
I think also totally agree. And I think some of it, the state's basically over there with their feet up on the table and a popcorn, and they're like, just let him. He's burying himself.
Yeah.
Because there's times where we've been in the chat. Now, granted, I get it. We're not in the courtroom. Like, we got stuff going on. But it's like, we'll be sitting here and we're like, wait, what are we talking? I mean, I know it's this trial, but what are we talking about again? Like, why is this person on the stand? What was the reasoning behind this? Because he just keeps going and going and going. And it's like, I think at times he's even confused the witness to where they're like, wait, why was I here? What was I forgot. Like, it's crazy. And so, yeah, I think in situations like this, you just let them do their thing. I think the jury probably feels like they're being yelled at. I
Mhm.
think the jury probably feels like their time's being wasted at times because it's like, I mean, those Google searches, I would have been like, how much are we getting paid for this? Like 3 weeks? No, you better get some Starbucks up in here.
And now the defense is right that only Brian knows his intent behind them, but I don't trust him.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't trust him to tell me the truth. And so everything is looking super duper suspicious. Everything is looking suspicious to me because like once you start lying, it's the whole the boy that cried wolf thing. It's like once you've lied so much, the minute you open your mouth, I'm expecting a lie. And there might be some kernels of truth that are sprinkled in there somewhere, but like I don't know what to make of it, and so I'm just like lying liar, and I'm just going to go with my gut and the evidence and the law if I was on the jury. But yeah.
And back to
Mm.
your thing about well, first of all, let me read this right here. So Ellis, dazed and confused, said, no doubt about it that the jury's going to find him guilty. My boyfriend knows nothing about the case. I told him about it in the trial. He's like, he's pretty guilty, wasted taxpayer money. I've had so much fun, to piggyback off your comment, sending pictures of Brian at Lowe's to people who don't know about the case, who are like asking me, hey, how's your work day going? What's going on? This is him at Lowe's. This is him getting the person to help him. Even people who aren't sure come like, really? He got the guy to help him do that? Like,
We have not talked enough about him driving in parking lot.
yes,
So, like,
please go. Yes.
the camera, there was probably a better place for him to park because the store was closed. There was probably because it was like, and then the fact that the liquor store knows him by name, like now the people at Chick-fil-A, they know me by name because every Friday my kid loves the mac and cheese. Every Friday I have a very similar order. My Starbucks person, when they see my order come up, they know me pretty well. But there isn't a liquor store that's out here like, oh hey, that's Patrice. Hey.
And to top that off, yeah, she just hangs out. We just figured she doesn't have anything better to do. When they said that, I was like, it's a humiliation ritual. That's what we are watching.
Children, the three young children. Like, it's not like he's some single guy that's like out living his best. Like, why are you at the liquor store so much? But that parking job. And it was still bad because when he finally made it into the spot, like he still wasn't like all the way
Oh yeah.
in the spot. And I say this fully knowing that like my parking is quite horrible. So like please, but I don't do crimes. And so y'all will not see videos of me trying to pull into a park or anything ridiculous like that. Because I almost thought he was gonna back in, but then he did this circle thing. I just can't with Brian. And he comes off obnoxious to me. Like he comes off annoying. The kids nowadays call him like a pick me, like somebody that just needs to be liked so much that you say, ooh, I have a Louis Vuitton. And he's like, ooh, I do too. Ooh, I went to Paris. Ooh, I like he just wants to keep, or he might try to one up you because he kind of wants to be better than people. I don't know. Like that's the vibe I get.
So a couple of things to go off of what you just said. So when we were watching the parking video, and at first, like watching it, I didn't know the store was closed at first. So when he pulls in, I'm like, okay, so where's he going? And then I'm like, wow, he's really going to back up with his license plate to the thing. Then I was like, oh, well, he's going to get out of the shot. So maybe that way. No, he's going to, are we doing donuts in the parking lot? I mean, he kept going, he went to park. And it was just like, what are you doing? It was like he wanted every angle of the car to be on video. I mean, I'm surprised he wasn't doing things. Now get underneath the car too. Let's make sure you can see the muffler. I mean, I was like, and then I'm like, he's gonna get out and walk to the garbage. And they're like, and the store is closed. I was like, what? And it's closed. What are we? What? No. Okay, no. Then, yeah, the whole Louis Vuitton thing where he was talking to the cops and he had to say, oh, she had the Louis Vuitton travel bag. And the cop was finally like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not a purse guy, because he's like, I don't know, like the Louis Vuitton, whatever. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, it was so funny because I felt like he was telling Brian, I guess you're a purse man, but I kind of had to be, with, she wanted the Louis Vuitton stuff. I'm like, did she want that or did you want her to have it? You know what I'm saying?
I think he probably saw it as like a status thing. Like
Oh,
that's my woman walking around with I don't know, like
100%.
I could see it being, oh babe, aren't you gonna take the Louis? Now, okay, because I have some travel coming up and I do have, and I'm not gonna show the chat because my office is a bit of a mess. I do have a zebra, like a black and white zebra carry-on with a matching black bag. So when I travel, I do like to look nice. But I don't I'm not over here bragging to the police about designer things and he's and it's just he's too much. He is absolutely too much.
Dazed, Confused, and Sandy both said the same sentiment. Bought it with money she earned. He had no money to buy her a Louis. Probably used her money. That's the kicker. That's the salt in the wound over the
Or
whole thing. Is it's
or the
like,
fraud money.
or the fraud
Or
money, or his
mommy's
mommy's
money.
money. Let's talk about, okay. The mother has sat there in court. Now, here's the thing. We found out all this tea about the mom and her,
Court.
whether she knows and this and the court and the this, and she's paying for that. And now she's getting sued. She has to pay the whatever. The way, first of all, did you see the outfit that she had the first day? That huge brooch
I
and then
didn't
the
see it.
thing. It was like so interesting. I was like, it was very, she was dressed nice, but it was also attention grabbing.
Mhm.
Now, me, I would have been like, what color are the benches in there? And I would have worn like clothes that like matched in there and I would have sunk into them, not wanting anyone to notice me. But she just has this very, no expression. And when he leaves the thing, he'll usually be like this, pretend you're the mom. And I'm looking at you. He's like, yeah, almost like, just like, hey, bro, what's up? It's so interesting, the dynamic and watching her. And then we're finding out she didn't like Anna, all the stuff that went on there. And I'm like, my God. Because here's the thing with Anna. She came over from, where is she from? Serbia or whatever, came over here, worked her way up, became this very big, I mean, she was making a lot of money, hard worker doing this, and then met Brian, whatever, having kids. And can you imagine realizing along the way where you're like, wait a minute, like I'm in this situation, I'm stuck in this situation. Like I have kids with this man, his mother's horrible, he's horrible, he ripped off the eBay guy. Because even when the eBay thing went down at first, she's like, my husband wouldn't do that. She seemed to give him the benefit of the doubt, and then it's like, oh no, he would do that.
And I also wonder if Brian was insecure about the new person she had met. Like this was somebody that is actually a mover and shaker in DC. Like he
Mhm.
has his own money. He doesn't need mommy's money. Because I think when Anna met him, because he probably portrayed himself as like, I own this condo, I come from money, I have all of this. And then they get married I don't think it was what she thought it was gonna be. I could be wrong. I
Mhm.
don't think it I don't think it was. And then things just kept happening because I'm sure how easily he lies, I'm sure he lied to her
Oh yeah.
about things. And, because I think he's obsessed with being liked and with being accepted and for people viewing him as being, like, rich when he really I don't think he had as much money as he was trying to say, or it was other people's money. It was mama's
Yeah.
money or Anna's money, Anna's money.
Yeah. 100%. Now, another thing too on that note
Yeah,
is, so when we're learning about the condition of the home, like when
yeah.
they show pictures of the pool, I was like, because in my mind at that point, I still thought they owned the house, and I was like telling the child, I was like, yeah, you can tell like love doesn't live in this house. Like whatever was in there, it's just, this is giving Adam's family, and they were showing the outside, and it's just, it's just dilapidated. And so I don't know what the agreement was with the landlord, because you know how some situations like that, the landlord's like, it's pretend it's your house. You had to pay for the upkeep. You're renting it. You do the pool. You do the whatever. Other landlords might be like, okay, it's still a house, but I want to make sure it's taken care of. So I'm going to do A, B, and C to it. I don't know what the deal was, but I do know for him to be sitting there name dropping like he was. And I'm like, bro, your pool, like the house is horrifying looking. Like the condition of it is just like what they really did trash it before you get to the murder stuff or whatever. And so it's interesting to me where I'm just like, how could y'all just sit there and be like, yeah, okay, like I mean, like what was going on? What was the vibe in that house like in the months leading up to this situation? I think it was a very dark energy. I think it was very bad.
And was mom living there? Because I know the lease was in her name as though she was going to be the primary person and that they were going to be taking care of her.
Mhm.
Was
No,
she?
I don't know if she was living there. Does
Okay.
the chat know? Was she living there or not? No, he said, okay.
Looks like no. Okay. And
Let me just
the only reason why I asked that is because it seemed like I could imagine that while Brian seemed to want to clean up after making like a mess, I don't think he was. So 3 little kids are going to you're going to have a ton of stuff. And I don't know that he like how attentive he was. I don't know. Because and I give a lot of people because three young kids and the police are trying to talk to you. Those kids are gonna have they are going to be all over the place. But most parents know. So I know when my kid was 3 years old, there was one show I could put on where I knew I could get like 20 minutes apiece.
Mhm,
Like most
mhm.
people know, okay, like this is what I can do, but it was almost like he was using the kids as a distraction where
100%.
when he was asked a question, it could be like, "Oh, boys, stop." Or like if he was trying to get more time to think, then that's when he would start focusing on the kids.
Totally agree with you. And one thing too, like at the house or whatever. And again, it's completely situational because we're listening to the whole situation take place where he's being interviewed, this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
whatever. But like I just imagine him at the house alone with the kids, kind of just being the type dad that's like on his phone, the kid's walking by with a butcher knife in his hand. Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, we just kind of let them do, they're good, they're good. Oh, what's going on? He stabbed you, like completely dialed out, just in his own little world. Well, he's hanging out at the liquor store, he's doing whatever. And when they said that, I was like, yeah, he doesn't want to be at home with her or the kids or whatever's going on. Like he doesn't, it's whatever. So yeah.
And I saw a lot of hate towards not I saw a little bit of thoughts towards Anna for going out of town for Thanksgiving. And for me, let's say she was preparing for what life might be like without him. And I'm sure that home with him, he seems insufferable. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? And not that people should, abandon and she didn't abandon them. Like she just spent Thanksgiving. She went on a trip someplace else. But I don't have any judgment towards her for that. And she had no idea that she had a little over a month left.
Mhm.
And so it's just so heartbreaking because I don't know that Brian would have wanted a divorce. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't because he probably would have lost the kids with his because she's gonna have full custody of the kids. He might have had to move to DC like once he got out of federal prison, and DC is expensive. You thought because I think she made a little.
Crazy.
I think she made a little over $200,000, but in DC, that is like 100,000. Like that is $200,000. Does and I don't mean to say that in a way, but it's like in that area. A lot of times people get paid a little extra for per diem or just for cost of living because DC is just super duper expensive.
And also to go off a couple of things that you said, and I saw some people in the
Yes.
comments say this. So yeah, some people were saying, oh, about Thanksgiving, she was from
Yes.
Serbia, so it might not be,
Yeah.
sentimental. Yeah, that I totally agree with that. I also think too, what was going on is that where she was starting to, and hold on one second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, I didn't want to cough
You're
nose
good.
here.
You're good.
I think she was starting to do that separate thing, and I didn't get a nefarious vibe from her. I didn't get a vibe of, oh, let me get out of here and go with my man. I got a vibe of like the preparing, the I'm getting ready to have the kids full time. I'm getting ready to do this. I think she saw an out, and I think the out was his legal troubles.
Yeah.
And I think that it was all coming together. And it was like, okay, here we go. She might have also innately knew he's not going to harm the kids. She might not have even believed that he would harm her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was not a situation of like, oh my gosh, the kids are in danger. I'm in danger, whatever, right? So I just got this vibe where I was like, oh, she saw her out. She met a dude who was more on her level. He was sitting there doing, like you said, a mover and a shaker.
Yeah.
She saw the difference. She was like, it was probably like, wow, this is nice. Like, he's going to pay for my dinner. I'm making this up, but he has goals. He does this. His mother's not horrible. Also, on that note, Brian probably, I feel like we have a little bit of Donna Adelson going on here. She was probably in Brian's ear. She's going to get the kids. She's going to do this. But you can't trust her. To me, Brian and his family are scummy con artists. And so they're thinking in those terms. And so they're probably expecting other people to be this way too. And so it's like, if I was Anna, I would have taken him to the cleaners if I could have, in any way possible. This was going to be more of a legit way. Now, she could have seen a side to him too of like, oh no, I see him get mad. I need to do this carefully. Unfortunately, she's not here to tell her side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can only go based on what it looks like and what the evidence shows.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
You wanted to ask, I think we got to the question though. Oh, do you know what? I typed it down and then I think I got distracted.
Hey, it's all good. When you're talking to me, I'm going to distract you.
right before we went live, it was like, okay, make sure to ask me about this. And then I wrote down, we were wonderful to DNA. And then I just stopped in the middle of my.
We're wonderful to DNA.
No, it doesn't. Because I think it was about like the purse and everything.
It was the purses, the name brand stuff. We talked about that.
Everything.
Yeah, we might have because before we went live, I was basically like quickly throwing out all these questions. I was like, I'm going to tell you now because I'll forget. And then they kind of naturally come out in the conversation or whatever. We just circle back around to them or whatever. So, rounding it out or whatever, tomorrow what's going to happen is number one, court starts late. It starts at 10 o'clock. Now, specifically for me, I'm not going to be streaming in the morning because I have my own little doctor appointment, but I'll be doing the afternoon session. The judge made it sound like, and again, I don't know, just the way she talked about, was that they're probably going to wrap up the state's case tomorrow and they will be like, okay, we're done. We're leaving for the day and we'll start fresh with the defense, say Thursday.
I think the jury will be able to leave for the day. And then I think they're going to handle motions because I think there will be special instructions because he'll have to decide whether he's going to testify or not. Because I think they give the jury special instructions or like, I think that's when the judge, before the defense starts their case, the judge normally asks the defendant, they go through the whole colloquy. I don't know. I like that word. They go through the whole thing of, you have the right to not testify. How are you making this of your own decision? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I think they might go through all of that. This case is so much. And I'm so glad that we were able to chat about it because nobody in my house follows true crime. And so like,
it's nice to talk to other people. Yeah, it's like you get people that get it and then getting your perspective and whatnot, obviously with your profession and your credentials and all that stuff. It's nice to like have that perspective and to be like, yeah, this is, every year seems to end with one of these cases like this, where it's just like, like, this is the most craziest thing that I've ever heard of. And this is, a lot of those cases have happened at the end of this year. It's weird. Just this one I've followed for a while. So So yeah, but yeah, what we'll do is definitely, well, once it wraps up, we should try and talk again, for sure.
Ooh, because
So
if he so please, to the Sofa Squad and to the psych nerds, if he testifies, I will be going live at some point to go through parts of it, if because I think he's gonna be up there for a while. He seems very verbose. He likes the sound of his own voice, and so I don't think it'll be short. And then his attorney also likes to ask a lot of questions, so I could just see it taking a while.
oh
Um,
yeah,
but I think they have to decide maybe what gets to come in. I don't like, I think the judge has to make some decisions, and that's why they're excusing the jury. And I do want, because I would hate for him to get a brand new trial because his rights were violated. So I really like it when the judge follows the law. And so if the judge says legally this is what I have to present the case, in the light most favorable to blah blah. I don't know, like I like it when the judges follow the rules and the law, so that we don't have to do a whole new trial over something minor.
100%, 100%. Because you see some of these horrendous cases, and when they go back to the system, and it's like, oh, well, you know what? They forgot to dot this I and cross this T. I understand if something goes back to retrial because they're like, well, so and so withheld this evidence, and it's huge, and okay, absolutely, let's redo this. But when it's like a technicality or something like that, and you're like, seriously, all these people.
It can come down to just one ruling, or to like one thing that wasn't allowed to come in. And so I am, when we talk about the defendant getting a strong defense, to me that helps the verdict. So whatever verdict is rendered, if the defendant had, a good adequate defense, because this is hard to defend. It was so silly that he was gonna go in there and be like, I didn't do anything at all. He was gonna try to play guilty, not guilty to all of it. Sir, I wonder if his lawyer sat down with him and was like, let's watch these Lowe's videos one more time. What do you think of five-gallon buckets, or hot 10 whatever the gallon, but five of them with
Standing there with that mask.
and gloves?
I was like, is it 2020? Nobody else is wearing any of that. I'm like, why is it? And it's the only store he wore that to. I'm
But
like,
I think that's what he knew he was gonna. I think there was some significance to, or maybe he was aware of the. I don't know. Or
he
he
might
thought
have.
those were the super crimey.
He was probably thinking, I'll wear the mask and the thing and get their fingerprints on it, and then that way we can loop it back to the random guy at Lowe's.
Maybe that's why he had it out.
It
Oh my
could be.
God, it could be.
But yeah, imagine to what you just said. Imagine if he had not pled guilty to the two charges right there, and they brought this evidence up.
First
100%. 100%.
Me trying to be like, I did nothing wrong. They'd be like, no, sir, I'm convicting you of everything. No. And so that was a decent strategy for them. Willow, I did not see lids to the buckets. I could be wrong, but I think the buckets were just open. I don't know.
I didn't see the lids either.
I didn't see lids.
Dazed and Confused says he should have just worn a ski mask. Imagine if it wouldn't shock me. Him standing there with a ski mask.
He has a very distinct posture. And do you know, because also you still have his credit card. So you can still sync it up with the time and his cell phone. So even with the ski mask, you're still guilty. So just don't do crimes. Okay. This is the easiest way. And if your spouse wants to leave you, let them leave.
Just get a divorce.
Leave your spouse and you're concerned about safety, or you're not concerned about safety, do it quietly. Don't do it loud. The most dangerous time for people is when they decide to leave. And so it was,
his nose is very distinct. Yeah, and we were sitting there talking in one of the live chats about it. Pardon me, just about hold on.
You're good.
Pardon me. Him sitting there, excuse me, I'm sorry. Just the footage alone of the Lowe's, what do you call it? CVS, I think it was. What do you call the other place? The liquor store. All of these things, and him just sitting there watching himself do this, not really blinking, not really doing anything, not really showing any kind of a reaction to it, and I guess, yeah, it's almost like he has no shame in a way. Like, I wonder if he's even thinking his mind. I wonder what the jury's thinking. I wonder if any of that even goes. And you know what? Wait, one thing. You brought this up. Does anybody know what he returned and why he returned it?
To Marshall.
To Marshall's? Does anybody know why he did that?
And while they're looking for that, I was thinking about the search for, is it best to wash or get rid of crime clothes?
Yeah. Like, or are these, can they trace your phone? Whatever it was. And I was like, obviously not.
I think he stopped using his phone after that. Like I think once he searched about can phones be searched, or I don't know. Like I think the searches stopped a little bit after that.
Yeah. Kathy says animated returns, not him. Okay.
And then
it might have been, yeah.
So Sandy Baker asks, do you think he's a true psychopath? And so with clinical psychology, we talk about antisocial personality disorder. This is a person that breaks laws and is against common norms and all of that. I heard somewhere that a diagnosis of narcissism might be somewhere, but I haven't confirmed it. So I can talk in general about general diagnoses. I've never met him. I can't diagnose him. But to me, like, just his need to protect his ego seems very strong. And then sometimes there can be this, because to me, a lot of his crimes were about keeping up appearances. So all of his fraud was about he didn't have money, and I think he wanted to live this lavish lifestyle, but didn't really have money. So those are just my general thoughts. We'll see. And I think his mom didn't hold him accountable. Make sure to hold your account. Make sure your kids have consequences.
Amen. Seriously. It's literally like that. Like, she just went along with whatever all the way up until this,
And I still hold him responsible for his actions. So I don't blame, but like,
hold on, wait. Brian Walshe was diagnosed as a psychopath. He was committed. It came out in previous crimes. Oh, interesting.
And so they might have said antisocial personality disorder if there was any type of assessment. I'm not sure.
Kathy says, as an internet gossip, I'm diagnosing him as psycho. But that's the good as certified right there, Kathy. Okay, so y'all, let's wrap this up. Let's head out. So the puppies are now at my feet doing their little thing, and I'm sure you've got a household saying, hey, what's going on over there?
My kiddo's ready for dinner.
Oh, cute. Well, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come talk to the Sofa Squad and hang out with us. And be sure and check out her channel. It's down in the description below. Thank you, mods, for making it possible. Thank you, squad. Thank you, psych nerds. Thank you, everybody. And so I'll be streaming sometime tomorrow afternoon, and we will see y'all then.
The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Perp's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, 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 come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please. The puppies need me. Oh, oh, please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, 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 come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Puppies need me, oh please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that, hey, 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 come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.